Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me, everyone. I appreciate you being here. I'm just going to start by giving a little introduction to what this practice is about today. I've had a lot of requests actually to offer sort of an abridged version of the Ashtanga Yoga primary series. If you're familiar with Ashtanga Yoga, you will maybe know that to really practice full primary and to learn it and explore it deeply, first of all, it's really great to do that with a teacher face-to-face as much as you are able to, but also it takes a long time to develop that practice, and it's not really something that you necessarily want to rush. And also that practice requires between 75 to 90 minutes of your time to do it in its full expression. So I've got a lot of students that want to practice Ashtanga Yoga, but maybe they don't have that much time to commit to it, or their bodies aren't really up for doing the full practice in its fullest expression just yet. So this class is just for that purpose. So it's really geared towards beginners or people who just want to take it a little bit easier, but still get that rhythm, still get that sense of flow that is so beautiful about the Ashtanga Yoga practice. So before we begin, you're going to want to have a yoga mat, something pretty sturdy to practice on. Any other props that you'd like to have around, a block, a cushion, a strap, whatever you normally would use in your practice is fine to bring in. I'm going to demonstrate this practice without the use of props and actually just talk you through some modifications that might be good for sort of the general public. You can feel free to take that advice or not, but just always really listening to your body first and foremost. And last little thing before we dive right in, because the essence of the Ashtanga yoga system is really about this vinyasa system, which means this movement with breath. So we really want the breath to sort of inspire the movements to come rather than the other way around. And also we want the breath to be very steady, very even as much as possible. So we're going to actually begin this practice today with a few movements, really simple ones, to dial in that movement and breath together and to really dial in the timing of it, the pacing of it. Now you might find as we get to some of the more challenging poses that it's hard for you to kind of maintain that even breath. That is totally fine. You want to just breathe as much as you need to in this class, you know, as freely as you can. That's the main thing, but it's good to have sort of that bar set where we know what we're aiming at, if that makes sense, okay? So without ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'll meet you guys on. So let's go ahead and find Samasthiti. So bringing your feet together up at the top of the mat, big toe mounds touch, and then see if you can spread out the rest of your 5 toes a little bit like fingers. And I want you just to relax your toes from that spread out position and start to anchor down into sort of like 4 corners of your feet. So you're feeling this real sense of the earth down into the pads of the feet. And now start to sense into your legs and see if you can engage the legs, but without over hardening or over tensing your body. So it's just a little bit of a drawing up through the fronts of the thighs, perhaps a little inner spiral of the thighs just slightly, and a firming or a toning of your buttocks, drawing the hamstring muscles sort of up into that attachment of the buttocks and firming that area as best you can. And one of the ways you can find that is just placing one hand on the belly, one hand on the sacral plate, and just getting a sense that you've evened out the front and the back of your hips. So rather than having your bum sticking out where your front hand is a little lower than the back hand, you want to even that out by dropping the tailbone down towards the floor just subtly. And then we'll stretch down the fingers, lengthen up through the crown of the head, lift your heart, and just find a soft gaze just sort of down the tip of the nose. And we're starting to connect into the breath. So taking a nice deep breath in through the nose, and a deep breath out. And let's try this just to feel where the breath is going. Just taking a moment, place your hands around your lowest rib cage and take a big breath and see if you can spread out the ribs into your hands. So when you're ready, breathing in and out. One more time, deep breath in, feeling those ribs spread out in all directions, and exhale. Good, let's relax the arms down again by the sides. Okay, we're going to begin adding some movement onto this breath. We'll start really, really simply. I want you just to inhale, take your arms out to a horizon plane. So you'll just inhale, bringing the hands out wide to the sides just to shoulder height. And then we'll exhale and bring the arms back down. Now I'm going to start to give you a 4 count to follow. Okay, so we'll do that with the 4 count. Inhaling, 2, 3, 4, pausing at shoulder height, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Good. Let's do one more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this time reaching the arms all the way up to the sky. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Turning the palms in. And exhale, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that one more time. This time we'll bring the hands together to touch. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, touching the hands together, lifting the gaze to the thumb tips. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Now a little footnote right there. If you find it difficult to bring the hands together, it's okay to bend the elbows just a little bit. So if you end up having to do something like this, that's totally fine. Okay, so let's try it again. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, gazing up to the thumbs. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Very nice. Okay, now we're going to add on what I call the half sun salutation. So we'll do half of the movements that are in the traditional Surya Namaskara A. Okay, so just preparing yourself. Let's get ready. Inhale, again, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, folding forward, 2, 3, 4. Try to bring your hands flat to the ground, head down. You can bend the knees if you need to. Now, keeping your hands on the ground, inhale, lifting your head, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, folding in, 2, 3, 4. Coming all the way up, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Let's just try that one more time with the timing. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Stretch and grow tall. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Soften the knees if you need to. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Lifting your head up. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Head down. Then lift your head and come up. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Good. Let's try the whole thing now, putting it together. So inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Halfway lift, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, step your left and then your right foot back, and we'll lower down to the ground for 2, 3. Feel welcome to put the knees down, 4. Upward facing dog, point the toes. Inhale, drawing the chest forward, 3, 4. Exhale, downward facing dog for 2, 3, 4. And we'll pause here, 5 deep breaths. 1, 2. Nice slow deep breaths through the back of the throat. 3. So you really should be able to hear the sound of your breath. 4. Sounds a little bit like the ocean. 5. Then inhale, step both feet forward. Inhale, the head comes up, halfway up. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. We fold in. Lift your head first, come all the way to stand. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 2, 3, 4. Very good. We're going to just do one more Surya Namaskar A. So inhale, arms rise up, touch and grow tall. Exhale, fold forward, and remember to go nice and slow with your breath. Inhale, lifting your head and chest forward, holding that position. Exhale, try stepping your right and then your left foot back, and we'll lower down Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, coming forward, pulling yourself through to the upward dog. Exhale, all the way back to downward facing dog. 5 deep breaths. 1, 2, 3, spread the fingers, really rooting down to your index knuckle, your thumb mound. 4, 5, and lift your gaze, lift up on the balls of the feet if it's helpful. Inhale, come forward, head comes up, and exhale, deepening the bow. And lift your head first, press down to rise. Inhale, sweeping the arms, and exhale, Samasthiti. Okay, Surya Namaskar beat. This time, bend the knees slightly. Inhale, float the arms up. Again, connect the hands. And exhale, fold all the way forward, ribs to the thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step, or you can jump back, plank position, and we lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, pull through to the upward facing dog. And exhale, slowly go back, downward facing dog. Now we're adding on warrior 1. So for beginners, just come up on the balls of the feet. Go ahead and step your right foot all the way forward, and then take a moment to set your back heel down with your left toes turning out. We'll inhale, sweep the arms up high. Again, we are trying to touch the hands together. So if you need to, if the shoulders are tight, bend the arms. And exhale, we'll come right back to the ground, stepping back through plank and lowering Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, pull through to your upward facing dog, rotating the elbows a little bit in, the crease of the elbow. Exhale, pull all the way back to the downward facing dog. Let's try that again on the other side, high on the tippy toes. The left foot is coming to the front. We're going to lower the back heel down. Right hip is turned a little bit out to the side. Inhale, the arms rise up. And exhale, we go back down, stepping to plank, making sure we're nice and strong in the core of the body. Inhale, coming through to the upward dog, and exhale, go back slowly to downward facing dog position. 5 deep breaths. 1, now you might notice that sometimes I adjust my feet when I get to this downward dog that I'm holding. So you can feel free to adjust your feet as needed. You just want to make sure your feet are nice and parallel. And I actually like to really reach my heels towards the floor. If I actually shorten my step here, I could easily bring my heels to the floor, but I choose to have a little bit of a longer stance because I feel like I get a little bit more stretch through my spine by doing it that way. So it's really up to you. Let's take one more deep breath. We finish on an exhale, and now come up on the balls of the feet and step or float it forward. We'll find that halfway lift. Inhale to lengthen the heart up, and exhale, deepen the bow. And bend the knees. Inhale, sweep the arms to the sky, and exhale, come all the way back, Samasthiti, arms by the side. Very nice. So let's do one more of these. So we'll bend the knees again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding all the way forward, ribs to the thighs. Inhale, halfway lift as you snake the spine forward. Exhale, step or hop back, going through plank and lowering Chaturanga Dandasana. Notice my head is up here. Inhale, upward facing dog, pull through. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, lower the left heel to the ground. Inhale, sweep the arms to the sky. Exhale, plant the hands, firm the core of the body as you lower Chaturanga. Inhale, pull through, upward dog. Exhale, drop back, downward facing dog. And here's our second side. Left foot comes to the front. We'll anchor the back heel. Inhale, arms float up. And exhale, going back to the ground. Plant hands, step back and lower. Inhale, pull through, upward dog. Exhale, drop back, downward facing dog. 5 deep breaths. 1. So every posture you find yourself in, you want to try and be very conscious of your breathing. 2. Nice deep, free breaths. 3. Feeling the rib cage expand in all directions. 4. You could visualize in downward dog, breathing between the shoulder blades. That might help you to expand the breath. 5. Let's exhale here. Come up on the tippy toes, transition forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, deepen the bow. Bend your knees. Inhale, ride the wave all the way up. And exhale, come back to Samasthiti, position arms by the side. Standing poses, Padangusthasana. So we'll just bend the knees a bit and hop the feet apart. Reach down on your inhale breath, taking big toes with middle and index finger. Lift the head and heart. And exhale, deepen that bow. Let your head relax down, gazing to the tip of the nose. 1. So you can bend the knees a little bit here in order to lengthen the spine down if it's helpful. 3. Over time, straighten the legs more and more. 4. I'm really feeling the lower back release. The hamstrings start to release a bit. 5. Now, inhale, halfway lift here. Hold the position as you exhale, shoulders back. Place hands under the feet, Padahastasana. Ekam inhale, head up. And Dve, exhale, a deep bow. 5 breaths. 1. Try to shift the weight towards the toes a little bit to challenge yourself. 2. Soften the elbows. 3. Relax the face. 4. Last one. 5. We have kind of funky transition right here. So inhale to Trini, just lift your head and heart. Exhale, release your hands and simply stand up. Don't worry about bringing the arms overhead. We just come back to Samasthiti, hopping the feet together. Okay, we're going to move into Trikonasana. So we'll inhale, Trikonasana A. We'll take a step to the right, bring the arms nice and wide into this star shape. Just turning the right toes out. Slowly lowering down. Now if you're able to, you can take the big toe with middle index finger all the way down if it's comfortable. Otherwise, just modify what I'm showing today. Just hand on the ankle or the shin, and then see if you can lift the gaze to the left hand. Draw both shoulder blades away from the neck a little bit if you can. 2. Straight and strong legs. 3. Not forcing anything, just breathing, moving the energy in the body. 4. Particularly any stuck energy. Let's move that. 5. Now press off the right foot. Inhale, come up to that star position. We'll turn the right toes in, left foot out, and exhale just directly into the second side. So again, if you're able to grab the big toe, go with that option. Otherwise, just keep it easy today. Modify a little bit the hand position and lifting your gaze to your right hand. 1. Try and bring the hips forward and the chest a little bit back if you can. 2. Shoulders away from the neck. 3. Try to feel the heart is light, expansive, it's opening up. 4. Like a big bright sun in the chest. 5. Good. We'll inhale, come back to star. So just rotating the toes to face the side. We're actually going to return to the front of the mat. So coming back to Samasthiti. Again, we're doing a shortened practice. So we'll come into the next pose, Parshvakonasana A. So bigger step this time, a little wider as you inhale. Step to the right. Turn the right toes, bend your knee. So modified variation, right forearm on the knee, reaching the left arm forward, overhead, lifting your gaze to your left hand. Or the full pose, taking your right hand down to the floor on the outside of the right foot. So the thing you want to be careful of here is not to let your chest turn to the floor and collapse the pose. You want to open up to the left side. 2, 3, 4, should feel strength in your legs. 5, good. Push off your right foot. Inhale to come up, and we'll rotate the right toes in, left foot out. Exhale, directly into the side. Again, you could modify today, elbow to the knee, or going a little deeper, if your body lets you go that far here today. 1, make sure your back foot's nice and anchored. 2, draw your lower belly a little bit in, navel to the spine. 3, little tuck of the tailbone. 4, so we get a little more strength through the center of the body. 5, good. Push off the left foot. Inhale, come back to that star shape. We're going to return again to the front of the mat. Samasthiti. Okay, moving into Prasarita Padottanasana A. So inhale, step out to the right side, a fairly big step, arms nice and wide. And exhale, just bowing forward, hands to the floor, but keep your head up. Take a breath in and elongate the spine. And as you exhale, guide your head to the floor. Bring your hands between your feet and push the hands down a little bit and forward to help guide your spine down towards the earth. 1, nose drishti. 2, hug the elbows in a little bit so they stay in line with the shoulders. 3, so you want to avoid letting the elbows wing out to the sides. 4, strong straight legs. 5, good. Inhale, Chatwari, head up. Exhale, stay here. Hands to the waist. Inhale, come on up. And exhale here. We're going to skip ahead to C position. So inhale, extend the arms nice and wide. Exhale, interlock your hands behind your back or catch opposite wrists. Inhale, pull the heart open as the arms stretch back. And now exhale, Trini, go down, head towards the floor. And just allow your head to relax down as your arms come overhead behind you. 1, 2, try and keep your spine long, so resist the urge to round the back. 3, letting the shoulders open up as the hands go towards the floor. 4, 1 more. 5, lift your head first. Chatwari, inhale, come all the way up. We're going to return to Samasthiti. As we exhale, just bring it back to center, arms by the side. So now let's come into a couple of balancing postures, Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. I'm going to share with you a modification for the beginners at home. So we'll place our left hand on the left hip. Start to shift the weight into your left foot and inhale as you lift your right knee up a little bit above hip height and catch your right knee with your right hand. Alternatively, for the full pose, take the big toe, extend the leg outward, and if you can, you're bowing forward towards your right shin. 1, 5 deep breaths here. 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're folded, inhale, chest up. Exhale, take your leg or knee to the side. So to the right side, stay tall through the left side of the body and look over the left shoulder. 2, drop the right hip a little bit if you can. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale to the front, hold it here as you exhale, maybe bowing forward if you can. And now everyone, hands on the waist, both hands, hold the leg in the air. 1, pointed toes. 2, 3, rather than letting the leg move away from you, try to pull it back into the hip. 4, and 5. Exhale, good, everybody's favorite. Okay, other side, so right into it. Inhale, take the left knee or the big toe. And if you have the big toe, try extending the leg. If you can go even a little further, starting to bow forward. 2 breaths. Whatever you're doing, try to be tall through the right side of the body. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, tall spine if you're folded. Exhale, leg to the left side, gazing over the right shoulder. 1, nice lifted chest. 2, 3, 4, 5 breaths. Inhale back to the front slowly. Exhale, try and fold if you can. And now everyone, both hands on the waist, just keeping the leg up as high as you can. 1, pointed toes. 2, chest forward, hips back. 3, so you're trying to be straight from the side with your spine. 4, and 5. Exhale, releasing that position. Good. We're going to move into Ardha Baddha Padmatanasana. So this one, you have a couple options. Right foot can either come into a lotus position, where you're holding the foot up high and your knee is pointing to the ground. If that is troublesome for your knee, please feel free to modify this position. So you could just take a little flamingo position, hooking your foot just above the knee and just coming down to sort of squat down a little bit into that leg, maybe if you need to. Otherwise, we're in lotus, so go ahead and find the position that works for you. And if you have lotus, okay, wrap your right arm around and try and bind the big toe. Let's call that 2 breaths. And you are trying to always point the knee to the ground. 3, the full pose is actually folding forward. So if you're comfortable doing that, feel free to take that fullest expression. But we'll keep it standing today just to keep it simple. 5. Now if you are folded, inhale, head up, exhale there. And inhale to stand up slowly. And now everyone, exhale with control. Release your right foot to the ground and let the arms come down. Beautiful. Let's go with the other side. So inhale, taking the left leg into position, so either into lotus or the flamingo pose. And try again wrapping the left arm if you're in the lotus. You're trying to catch the big toe. If you have the big toe, try and go ahead and fold forward. Otherwise, you can stay standing with me. We'll call that 2 breaths. 3, 4, and 5. If you're folded forward, inhale, head up, exhale there. And now inhale, stand up slowly. And now everyone together, exhale, let's carefully release that left foot to the ground. Coming back, Samasthiti. Beautiful. So we're going to come right into our last little warrior sequence in the standing practice. We'll do Surya Namaskara A to get there. So on inhale, raising the arms up nice and high, touch the hands, grow tall. Exhale, swan dive all the way down, hands flat to the floor, fold into the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, head up. Exhale, step or jump, chaturanga, lowering yourself to the ground. Inhale, pull through to the upward facing dog. Exhale, glide back to downward facing dog. Now we're going to go right into warrior, guys. So step your right foot forward, lower your back heel down, 45. And inhale, stretching the arms up to the sky. 1, again, important the hands are together, so bend the arms if you need to. 2, feel that left rib cage spiraling to the front a little bit. 3, don't go super deep into the lunge if it feels like you're collapsing and losing the strength. 4, one more. 5, now exhale, straighten your right leg. We're going to rotate around and find that second side. 1, your right toes should be turned to the right side of the mat quite a bit. 2, and it's the rib cage that's coming forward. 3, nice straight, strong back leg. 4, 5, very good. Inhale, open it up, Virabhadrasana B. So just finding that nice parallel line with the arms. 1, soft gaze to the left hand. 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, straighten your left leg, rotate to the other side, bending the right knee. 1, be careful not to lean towards your front leg. See if you can even it out. 2, dropping your left hip, lifting your right hip up. 3, good, spread the heart open. 4, 5, listen carefully. Inhale, take both hands to the floor as you lift your back heel. Try and pick up your right foot in balance for a moment. Exhale, step back, chaturanga. We'll lower it to the ground. Inhale, pull through, upward dog, slowly. Exhale, pull back, downward facing dog. Excellent job. So we're going to come down and have a seat. Make sure your hands are fairly wide and just stepping one foot in front of the other, crossing the ankles. Sit down and bring your legs through. If you know how to jump through, feel free to jump through all the way. Dandasana. Hands by the hips, nice, straight, strong legs, flexing the feet. Drop the chin a little, lift the heart. 1, 2, good. Empty your mind. Connect to the breath. 3, we tend to overthink things, so see if you can just let yourself feel. 4, and 5, exhaling here. Paschimottanasana A. So we're going to reach forward. If you have the flexibility, go ahead and catch your big toes, middle and index finger. Otherwise, modification that's nice is just taking whatever you can on your ankles or shins. Inhale, lengthen up so you get a neutral spine. And as you exhale, with that neutral spine, start to tip forward any amount. So what I want you to be careful of here is not to fall into that beginner trap of really flexing your spine to get your head towards your feet, okay? So really neutral spine and lengthening the heart forward. We'll call that 3 breaths. Then you can relax the head a little, relax the shoulders. 4, 5, good. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale here, releasing that position. I'm going to do, instead of a full jump back, just a little transition that builds core strength. So crossing your right leg over the left, see if you can hug the knees in gently towards your chest and just find the balance here with your feet off the floor. This will make your lower abdominals switch on. Just to test that a little bit more, hands to the floor, and we'll lean forward and press up. Good, and then just bring your legs back down. Okay, we'll come into Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. So bending up your right knee, nice and closed knee joint position, taking that right leg into lotus, or again, you could modify by doing a flamingo pose instead, where you keep that joint a little bit more open. If you can go with the lotus, binding the right arm around the back. And if you're comfortable with that, taking the left foot. Take a breath in and lengthen up. And again, with a neutral spine, we don't want to round so much. Exhale, bowing forward. 5 breaths. 1, 2. Nice strong left leg, the one you're lengthening over. 3. Squaring the shoulders to the front as much as you can. 4. 5. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale here. Carefully release lotus. And this time crossing left shin over the right. Hug it in, hands to the ground. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, back down. Let's go to the other side. So right leg straightens out. We'll fold the left leg into either lotus or that flamingo position. Yeah. So in flamingo, by the way, I don't mind if you actually take your hands forward and just try to stretch into that left hip a little bit more. Again, just be mindful that you're not rounding your back into it. That can put a lot of pressure on your sacroiliac joints and on the discs of your lower back. So you want to be really careful. It should feel good. Let's call that 3 breaths. 4. 5. Inhale, head up. Exhale here. Beautiful. Let's release that. This time we'll do a vinyasa. So you're going to cross right over the left, hug it in close. This time I want you to grab your feet. This is if you don't know the jump backs. Just grab the feet, pull them in, and see if you can roll over the feet, hands to the ground, and step back. And then we lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, pull through, lengthen the spine, and exhale, draw all the way back to the downward dog position. Very good. Okay, just stepping or jumping through. Have a seat. Janu Shavasana A. So left leg straight. We'll bend our right knee out wide and take the right foot inside the, the inner left leg. Reach forward to connect with your left foot. So that might mean you interlace your hands. If you're very flexible, you might be locking the wrist, the hands around the foot, or you might be modifying today. Okay, so whatever you get that neutral back with, and let's go ahead and fold forward, letting the neck relax a bit. 1. So soft inward gaze. 2, feel your body, breathe into it. 3. 4, releasing that right hip, that right side of the back. 5, inhale, heart lifts. Exhale here, releasing that, crossing right over the left. See if you can do that little lift up. And then second side. Taking the left foot or the wrist or modification. Inhale, lift the heart. And exhale, go right in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale here. Good. Again, either just cross the legs, left over the right this time, do the little pickup, or you can do a vinyasa with me, stepping back. We'll lower it down. Inhale to the upward dog. Exhale to the downward dog. We're going to come through for Marichasana A. So again, step or jump through. Left leg straight, right knee bends, right foot on the floor, and your right foot, you want to place your heel roughly just outside the sitting bone. So your foot's not against your left leg. There's a gap there. Reach your right arm high, stretch forward. Beginners today, feel free just to hold it here, maybe grabbing your left foot if you can. Try to feel your ribs move past that right leg. Otherwise, we'll bind. So wrapping that arm around the back, catching the left hand, and folding forward any amount. 1, 2, 3, your right hip should be off the floor a little bit here. Most of the weight's in the left leg. 4, and you should feel like you're going forward in this posture, that the direction is forward. 5, inhale, heart lifts. Exhale here. Release that position, crossing the legs, just do a little pickup. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, let's go other side. Right leg is long, left foot's on the floor. Reach the left arm up. My beginners, again, take it easy if you need to. Just grabbing onto that right foot will give you lots of flexibility. Otherwise, we'll bind. Lifting the heart and melting forward. 1, try and keep your right leg active and strong. 2, feeling some anchoring into that left foot. 3, again, the right leg is the base, so the right hip is on the ground, left hip is off the ground. 4, 5, inhale, lift your head up. Exhale here. Again, let's just do a little lift up. So inhale to lift up. Exhale back down. We're going to move right into C, spine twist. So left leg straight, stepping right foot on the floor. Same position we just had. Now, take your right hand behind you, fingers back, pretty close into your hips. Sit up real tall, hooking your left elbow across your right knee and drawing your right knee in towards the left shoulder, looking back to the right if you can. 1. So some of you might be able to actually hook the shoulder around and possibly even bind this pose. So go to where it feels comfortable. 3, 4. Try to draw the right hip forward a little bit. 5, exhale here. Release the posture. Cross the left ankle over the right. Inhale, pick it up. Exhale, second side. So again, using that left hand to really lengthen the spine, right elbow just gently hook so you can keep this real gentle, feeling that upper third of the torso revolve around. 1, or even adding the bind on if your shoulders are happy about that and your back is happy with that. 2, 3, left hip moves forward a little bit, lift the heart. 4, 5, exhale here. Release the position slowly. Let's do a vinyasa after that one. So crossing the legs, pull it in, shift forward, and step or jump back. We'll lower down. Inhale, pull through, upward dog, open the front of your hips. Exhale, back to the downward facing dog. Navasana, Sapta, inhale, jump through. So right into this pose. So just lifting the heart here, 5 breaths. 1, feel free if you need a little more support, holding behind the knees can help. 2, but we do want to avoid that. So as soon as you don't need that, just come out with the arms. 3, we'll do 3 rounds. 4, 5, cross the legs, hands down. Inhale, shift forward, lift up. Exhale down. Second one already. 1. And also if you're comfortable, and you can keep your back straight, straight legs. 2. Otherwise, knees bent is fine for today. 3, 4, and 5. Cross the left over the right, shift forward, inhale up. Exhale down. Last one. How are you doing? 1. Stay strong. You can do it. 2. 3, remember to lift that chest, don't let yourself round. 4, and 5. Take your time, cross the legs, pull it in. Go ahead and step or jump back, find your chaturanga. Take a moment to find the upward dog. So really important little counter pose. Open the front of the hips here. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Beautiful work. Okay, step or jump through. So we're going to come into Baddha Konasana. Soles of feet together. Bring your heels as close to your pelvis as what you can do. Take your thumbs inside the soles of the feet and try and open the feet like a book, pressing your knees towards the floor. Then just try to straighten up. So inhale, lift the chest, rotate forward on the pelvis, and exhale, slowly tipping forward any amount. Now some of us, including myself, might not get very far here without feeling we have to round the back. So try and keep the heart moving forward even if you don't come all the way to the ground. It's fine. 2, other folks will have their heart on their feet. 3, you could be anywhere along that continuum there. 4, as long as you feel the pose, that's the main thing. 5, inhale back to a tall spine. Let's go to B. Exhale, rounded spine. So chin to chest. Try and bring your forehead down to your feet. 1, breathe behind the heart, in between the shoulder blades. 2, let the back open up. 3, 4, 5, 5, inhale, coming back up, tall spine, exhale here. Let's jump back this time, left over the right, cross the legs, inhale, shift forward, and see if you can jump or step back, and we'll lower down, chaturanga. Inhale through to the upward dog, exhale to the downward dog. Let's do one more primary series pose, so we'll jump through and sit down. Upavishta Konasana, taking the legs out wide angle pose, and then leaning forward, reach out, try and catch the outsides of the feet. To modify, feel welcome to grab the shins, whatever you can do. Try to keep your toes pointed up. Take a breath in as you lengthen forward, exhale to come down. Chin and chest to the floor is the goal, but in the beginning, maybe you're modifying a bit, you might just bring your head down. So you see how it feels for you. 2, shoulders away from the neck. 3, 4, one more. 5, inhale, lift the head and heart, exhale here. Good, now reach the hands up, lean back, try to lift the feet into the hands, point the toes, straighten out the legs, lift your gaze up. 1, lift the chest. 2, 3, shoulders relax down. 4, and 5. Good. Crossing the legs. Inhale, lifting up. See if you can jump or step back. Again, whatever you need to do. Lower down, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale to the upward dog. And exhale to the downward dog. All right. Go ahead and step or jump through. Back bending. So let's go ahead and lie down on our backs. Nice straight legs. Bend your knees. We'll do 3 bridge postures today. So bending the knees, feet about hip width apart, nice parallel feet. And feel your feet start to connect into the earth. As you inhale, scoop the tailbone under and start to lift the hips off the ground. Once you get to your highest place, either interlock the hands under your back and do a little shuffle, right shoulder to left, or alternatively, grab onto your mat with your hands on either side and then shuffle your shoulders. So if you're a bit broader or tighter through your shoulders, you might have to do that way. But you want to get those shoulders under you to lift the heart. Let's call that 3 breaths. Now watch out the knees, stay parallel here, don't let them spread out. 4, 5, exhale, release the arms, coming all the way down through your back body. So we'll repeat 2 more times. You can either stay with that, or if you feel to press up into wheel, hands by the shoulders, you can press up. For myself, I'm going to stay with the bridge today, so you can follow me if you like. Okay, when you're ready, hands are ready if you're going into your wheel. Otherwise, inhale to lift up. And interlocking the hands for the bridge. Just lifting the heart. 2, 3, 4, 5, slowly coming down. We're going to go directly into that last round. So coming back up, inhale, coming up. Again, choosing your hand position. 1, if you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana, the wheel, try to really lift the hips up. 2, opening up the heart. 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, release your arms. Come all the way down through your spine. Now when you get down to the bottom, just lower the hips down and gently lift your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around and squeeze it in. Let your tailbone come up off the ground. This is just going to help to counterpose that back bend for your lower back. And we'll rock up and sit. We're going to go directly into Paschimottanasana. So just straightening out the legs, reach forward, either catch the outsides of the feet or modification here. Inhale, lengthening up. And again, exhale, folding forward. And this one, our goal is to relax a little bit into it. So allow for a little bit of rounding in your back. Allow your head to relax down. 1. So you're really trying to release your lower back. 2. 3. I'm just going to do 5 breaths here today. 4, 5, inhale, lifting up, exhale, good. And just coming right into shoulder stand, Salambasarvangasana. So make sure you have room behind you so your head stays on the mat, and go ahead and just lie down on your back with your palms facing the ground. First variation for beginners. Inhale, just lift your feet up off the ground, your legs, so that you come to this vertical position. You're doing 10 breaths here. If you're a little more experienced, ready to come up with the hips, you're going to do a little rock and lift the hips up off the ground, bringing your hands to the lower back and trying to find a vertical line here. 2, we'll do 10 breaths. 3, keep the feet together if you can, nice strong legs. 4, tucking the tailbone, squeezing the bum. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll do one more variation coming up. 10 for plow pose. So if you're in the full pose, exhale, lower your feet overhead. See if with straight legs you can touch your toes to the ground. If that's possible, interlock the hands behind you and stretch the arms back. If your knees are bending, hands on the lower back, just let the legs float a little bit here. 5 breaths. 1. And if you're in the beginner variation, just come down and rest for a moment. 2, 3, 4. Now for those of you in plow, we're going to lower to the ground from plow. 5. So release your palms flat to the ground and just lower down one vertebra at a time. Nice and slow. We'll come all the way back down. And we'll come into fish, everyone. So cross-legged position. See if you can lift your knees and grab your feet. Just kind of pull your feet in pretty close to your sits bones. And then take your hands just to your lower buttock area. So I see a lot of people kind of put their palms flat to the ground. I would suggest you keep your hands on your hips, your buttocks, press your elbows down, and then you can easily just come into this position, lifting the heart and drop the head back. So you're on the crown of the head. So see if you can, watch out for the ponytail. I have a ponytail issue today. So see if you can just let yourself put a little bit of weight on the crown of the head. If it feels like it's too much, then just skip this one today. And then we just place the hands on the thighs. So the full pose would be in lotus position. So you can feel welcome to do that if you have lotus, but very few people have that position naturally. Take some practice. And then in that case, you're grabbing your feet. Let's just do one more deep breath in. Good. And now just use your elbows. Come back to your start. Release your neck. Come all the way down. Release the lotus. Let's give the knees a little squeeze into the chest, releasing the lower back. And then go ahead and sit up. All right. Cross-legged position or lotus. Once again, we'll do our last 3 finishing postures to finish up with. Yoga Mudra. So taking the hands behind the back, clasping onto the forearms. Take a big breath in, lift the head and heart. And exhale, bowing any amount forward. Let's take 10 deep breaths. 1. This could also be done in lotus position for those of you who have that in your practice. 2. And then we would be binding the left arm around the back and then the right. 3. 4. Deep breaths. 5. Sealing in your efforts for the day. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Inhale, come up. Take the hands to Yana Mudra, so thumb and index finger touch. Try to lengthen the other 3 fingers, lengthen the arms. Lift the chest, slightly tilt the chin towards the heart. 1, soft gaze down the tip of the nose. 2, feeling the ribs spread in all directions if you can. 3, think about breathing into the heart to lift the heart. 4, 5, 6, again, not overthinking, just breathing. 7, 8, 9, shoulders relaxed. 10. Lift your chin, Upluttahi, taking the hands to the ground. Now this one's a little tricky. Try to bring the hands slightly forward if the hips not right in line. Spread the fingers, and I want you to push the floor away to depress the shoulders. So if you do that well and you're strong enough, your hips will come off the ground. You want to hold for 10 breaths. If you're cross-legged, try and just, even if your feet are on the ground a little bit, try not to have much weight in your feet. Put it in the shoulders. 3, 4, don't come down. Really challenge yourself here. 5, it should feel like strong effort. 6, our last effort together. You can do it. 7, 8, 9, pushing those shoulders down. 10, very good. Come all the way down. Nice. One last vinyasa together. So go ahead and just step or jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana as you exhale. Inhale to the upward dog. And exhale to the downward dog. Good. Go ahead and sit down. Taking rest. So take Shavasana now, lying on your back. Let your body spread out, a little bit of space between your feet. Toes flap open to the sides. Palms open to the sky. Let those shoulders melt down the back. And when you're ready, just closing down your eyes. I'm going to give you this time for yourself to spend as long as you'd like in your Shavasana. Please do take a couple of minutes at least. And do a little scan of your body, starting with the crown of the head, moving all the way down, feeling your facial features, feeling the shoulders and the neck, feeling into the heart, noticing the hills and valleys of your back melting into the floor, feeling your arms softening, your fingertips curling in. So I'll leave you to enjoy Shavasana for a little longer if you'd like. Have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for your attention and your hard work, everybody. Namaste.